Well, hello and welcome to another This OMG Fishing fly tying seminar video. Today we're going to keep it to the basics. A nice simple fly. We're going to tie the Thunder Creek Minnow. This is a deer hair fly, and it's pretty easy to do. There's not a lot of muss and fuss with it. Two different colors, or three different colors of deer hair if you want. Depends on how fancy you want to get with it. Stick-on eyes. You don't even have to add the eyes if you don't want. And two colors of thread. That's generally all you'll need for this. So we're going to get this onto the vise and we'll start tying. Alright, so here we are. We're going to tie up the Thunder Creek Minnow. The one I have in the vise here is a size 2 streamer hook, which makes a fairly large minnow. I think I'm just going to switch this down to a size 4 streamer hook and just downsize it just a little bit. So first we'll get just a standard mustad streamer hook, and what I usually do is I'll straighten this eye out. So I just put it in here and just don't do it all at once, because if you do it all at once you can sometimes snap the eye off of it, which isn't what you want to do. You just want to straighten it out. So there, that's fairly straight, and I think we still maintain the integrity of our hook. And first I'll just put down a little base of black. I'm using a thicker thread on here. This is a 3/0. You don't really need a thicker one. It just happens to be what's in my spool right now. And so we're just going to just get a little base going. And then what we're going to do, going to do a couple of things here. And the first one is we're going to put in a bit of a tail. So I'm just using regular colored bucktail. You can use whatever color you want. You could turn this into like a Mickey Finn type pattern if you want, but for now I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. So I'm just going to put in just a little bit for its tail. You don't necessarily need this part. Alright. Put that on a little snip. And then I'm going to come in with some tinsel, which is going to be the coloring for the body. Hopefully get the silver side going on this. You can use whatever color you want in here. I've used orange. I've used just silver, black. However you want to dress it up, that's up to you. And we'll just get this going if we can. And then we'll get the body put on, and then we'll start with the rest of it. I'll try to keep this smooth. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything really fancy. You just want that little silver flash in behind there. If your loops don't fully overlap, that's not the end of the world. You can throw a rib on this if you wanted after you put your first layer of tinsel down. It's purely up to you. It's however you feel like dressing it up. Okay, so there's the body. Now what we want to do is we want to keep the colors separate from each other. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to put the body in first, which is the white. And I'm just going to snip off a fairly good sized piece of white here. And sorry about the noise there. And just take out all of the fluffy stuff that's underneath. You'll find that if you have all the underfur, it just bulks your fly up for no reason whatsoever. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're coming back to the tail, at least. So that's essentially our tie-in point right there. And you just turn everything backwards. I'm going to just shift this hook up a little bit, and then we're going to tie this in up at the head. I'm going to just try and get this as sparsely tied as possible. So you just flip this over, and what we'll do is we'll just take it down here a little bit to create the head that you want for it. We'll just cut off that excess. Trim up little bits and pieces here. Okay, and then we'll turn it back over, and we'll just make sure that all of this hair is where we want it to be. I'll take this thread back up. And then we'll put on our second color, or layer, which will be the natural color. And again, try and just pick off enough hair that it's either balanced top and bottom, or there's a little bit more on the top. And you have to pick out all the guard hairs out from underneath. And if you have any long wonky hairs that you don't want, you take those guys out as well. So this part's a little easier. You don't have to be as close in your measurement. You just want it to line up with the front. That's good there. Loose wrap. Tighten it up. Take it back to where the other one was. And do the same thing. You just want to cut out any hair that you don't need. And by doing this, tying it back like this, you're creating the bump that's going to be the formation for the head. You can see how the head here has some volume to it, and that's what we're looking for here. So we've got that secured on, and I'm just going to tie this off. Sometimes it's easier to do this without technology here. It doesn't matter if that's exactly tied off because I'm coming in with another color. Just carry that down. But you could put some super glue on there. That'd be fine. So what we want to do next is you want to get these hairs pulled back. So typically what I do and what I've done is I just use a pen, take the cartridge out of the pen, and essentially separate your colors and put the pen on. and just get those colors back there, get the fibers back. Like I said, I'm going to use a second color here, and what I'll do is I'm just going to see if I can make that rest there for me, because that's about where I want the difference in my layers. You can see that this will want to go back to where that ball was for the head of your fly. Just cut this off. And what the red does, it acts just like gills. Get that on there. Now I'll use the whip finisher because then I don't have a big bulk at the end of the fly. And there you are. Then you can just come in, you can put some eyes on this if you want. These ones might be a bit big for it. I'll put them on just to illustrate what we're doing. And you can put the eyes further up on the head, further back on the head, wherever they suit what you want to do. And come in, you can put some glue on that, which I'll do a little bit later, and put some epoxy on it, and there you have it. Easy peasy, Thunder Creek Minnow. Simple to tie, really good. I use this for brown trout. You could use it for bass, you could use it for speckled trout. It's not weighted, so if you want to get deep with this, you'll either have to use a sinking line, or you'll have to use some split shot or something at the head of it. So it's pretty basic. You use some tinsel, 3D eyes, red thread, black thread, you can use brown thread or white thread, bucktail, natural, and just some stream hooks. And don't forget to straighten that out. I find that it just swims better when that hook is straight as opposed to when it is when it's curled down like you normally get with a streamer hook. And don't forget, you can also use a pen to push that hair back. Be gentle when you push that hair back because you don't want to snap off all of the hair fibers. Well, that's about it. There's not a lot to this fly to make, but it sure is a good fly to be using. And please, by all means, if you have any comments, please leave them for me. I'd appreciate that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and please feel free to subscribe. And I hope that you guys can get out there, do some fishing, tight lines, practice CPR, catch, photo release, and remember, take your kid fishing. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's what I'm talking about right there.